Welcome to the Fashion Algorithm. We're doing a deep dive today into something really fascinating: fashion recommendation systems. How technology helps us find clothes online.
It's a great topic, and the evolution has been pretty staggering, from simple search bars to AI that really seems to get your style.
Totally. So the plan is to unpack how these systems actually work, looking at how they started and where they are now. It's gone way beyond just basic tools, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We've gone from simple rule-based stuff to platforms that learn your personal taste, predict what you might want. It's quite complex now.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive: figure out the tech behind it all and what makes these recommendations click, especially in e-commerce.
Sounds good.
And just quickly, this deep dive is brought to you by CloudFit.ai. They're doing some really interesting work connecting influencer outfits directly to product inventory.
Ah, making content shoppable then.
Exactly. Drives sales, boosts order value. You can check them out at cloudfit.ai. That's CLOUTFIT.ai if you want to learn more.
Good to know.
Right, so let's rewind. Where did this all begin? The sources mentioned some foundational filtering techniques.
Yeah, the early days were built on basically three core ideas for filtering. First up was content-based filtering.
Content-based, what does that mean exactly?
Think about the item itself. If you buy, say, a blue shirt, the system notes the attributes, color blue, item type shirt. Then it suggests, well, other blue shirts or items with similar features.
Okay, so it matches characteristics. If I like floral prints, I see more floral prints. Yeah, simple enough.
Pretty much. Then there's collaborative filtering.
Yeah.
This one's different. It looks at users, not just items.
How so?
It works on the idea of similarity between users. If you and I tend to like and buy similar things, the system might recommend something I like to you, even if you've never looked at it before.
Ah, okay. That's the customers who bought this also bought
Mm.
stuff we see all the time.
Exactly that. It's based on collective behavior, find people with similar tastes, recommend what they like.
Gotcha. And the third one, you said there were three?
Right. The third was hybrid filtering. Because, both content-based and collaborative have limitations.
Like what?
Well, content-based can trap you in a bubble, right? Only showing you things similar to what you already bought.
Yeah, I can see that. No discovery.
And collaborative filtering struggles when you're new. If you haven't bought or rated anything, it doesn't know who you're similar to. That's the classic cold start problem.
Okay, so hybrid mixes them.
Exactly. It combines different methods, maybe content-based, collaborative, maybe others too, trying to get the strengths of each and minimize the weaknesses. It's often about cleverly weighting them depending on the situation or how much data they have on you.
Makes sense. Balancing act. So these were the foundations. But then things really took off with AI and machine learning, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. That was the real game changer. Machine learning algorithms entering the picture, it was a massive leap.
How did they change the approach?
They can process just enormous amounts of data, way beyond simple purchase history. We're talking browsing patterns, what you click on, what you add to wish lists, how long you look at something, even social media signals sometimes.
Right, it's analyzing everything we do, not just what we buy.
Precisely. And they're incredibly good at finding subtle patterns and connections in that data, things a human might miss.
Like what kind of connections?
Well, maybe it notices people who buy a certain style of vintage dress also tend to eventually buy a specific type of minimalist handbag, even if those seem unrelated initially. It spots these correlations across vast data sets.
Wow. So it starts to build a much deeper picture of your style.
A much, much deeper picture. It allows for really personalized shopping experiences, moving towards predicting what you might want even before you search for it. That boosts engagement, conversion rates, the whole package.
And that led to this idea of hyper-personalization.
Oh.
Sounds intense.
It kind of is. Hyper-personalization is about going beyond basic demographics or past purchases. It's building this super detailed profile considering your aesthetic, maybe lifestyle needs, upcoming events, really tailoring recommendations at a granular level.
Okay, so the AI is crunching data, learning behavior, but fashion is so visual. How did that piece come in? One of the articles really focused on that.
Yes, the visual revolution. That was the next huge step, powered by computer vision and deep learning.
Computer vision. So the AI can actually see the clothes.
In a sense, yes. These technologies allow the systems to analyze images directly. They can understand style, pattern, texture, silhouette, color, even how well different items might look together just from the pictures.
That's incredible. How does it work technically? Is it just comparing pixels?
It's a bit more sophisticated than that. A key technology is convolutional neural networks, CNNs. They're a type of deep learning model that's really good at processing images.
Okay, CNNs. And how are they used in fashion?
Several ways. You have things like CNN autoencoders. They learn to take a clothing image and create a compact numerical representation, like a unique fingerprint or embedding, that captures its core visual essence.
So it turns the picture into numbers the AI can work with.
Exactly. Makes
Huh.
it easier to compare items. Then you have multi-input CNNs. These can look at embeddings from, say, a shirt image and a pants image and predict if they make a good outfit combination or if a user would like them together.
Whoa! Predicting outfit compatibility.
Yes. And another technique often used alongside is k-means clustering. It takes all those item embeddings and groups similar items together automatically based on their visual features, like putting all the similar-looking floral dresses into one cluster.
So it helps organize the visual style.
Precisely, it brings structure to the visual chaos.
And these systems can actually suggest whole outfits based on pictures of separate items.
Absolutely, that's a major application. And a lot of the progress here was boosted by datasets like Polyvore.
Polyvore, I remember that site. People made outfit collages.
Exactly. And all those user-created outfits, and especially the likes they got, provided a massive training ground for AI. It helped teach the models what combinations humans find visually appealing and stylish.
Wow. So our clicks and likes directly trained the AI stylists. Can you walk us through how a modern system might recommend an outfit then?
Sure, it's usually a pipeline. First, extract the clothing images you need. Then, train specialized autoencoders for each clothing type, tops, bottoms, shoes, to get good embeddings, those numerical fingerprints.
Okay.
Then, train multi-input neural networks, maybe using data like polyvores, to learn user preferences for combinations of these embeddings.
Learning what makes a good outfit.
Right. And finally, use these trained models to predict and recommend the best combinations for a specific user, maybe considering items they already own or like.
That's quite a process. Now, something else that came up was understanding why someone is shopping, their intent.
Yes, that's a really important, more recent focus, moving beyond just what you like to why you're looking for it right now.
And that makes recommendations better.
Research definitely shows it does. When systems factor in user intent and the context, like shopping for a specific occasion, the recommendations are more relevant, and people are generally happier with the results.
Can you give an example?
Sure, H&M was mentioned as doing this. They let users filter based on occasion. So you can say, I'm looking for something for a party or workwear.
Ah, okay. So the system isn't just showing random clothes, it's filtering by purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you need a wedding guest outfit, you don't want to see beach cover-ups. It helps narrow things down effectively.
Makes total sense. So how does that intent-driven process work behind the scenes?
Typically, it starts by gathering input. What product are you looking for initially? What's the intent or occasion? Maybe what's your preferred style for this need?
Collecting clues.
Right. Then it filters the available products based on those inputs. After filtering, it ranks the remaining items considering your history, item popularity, how well it matches the stated intent.
Okay, ranking the possibilities.
And then, crucially, it often tries to identify complementary items, things frequently bought together for that kind of purpose. So if you're looking at a cocktail dress.
It might suggest shoes or a clutch that go with it.
Exactly. So it presents both the core recommended items and potentially matching pieces to complete the look for that specific intent.
It's like anticipating the whole need, not just the single item. Very cool. Now, there are some big names really innovating here. What are companies like Stitch Fix or the Yes doing?
Yeah, there are some interesting approaches. Stitch Fix is well known for its blend of algorithms and human stylists.
Human stylists, so it's not all AI.
Not entirely. Their data science picks out clothes based on your profile, measurements, feedback. But then a human stylist actually reviews those selections and makes the final choices for your box. They add that human touch, that nuance.
Interesting blend. What about the Yes? They sound different.
Very different. App only and heavily focused on active user participation. They have this incredibly detailed fashion taxonomy. They developed apparently around 500 dimensions for each item.
500. That's a lot.
It is. Inspired by music recommendation systems, apparently. It allows for super granular understanding and filtering. They use machine learning and computer vision to analyze products based on this taxonomy, and the app constantly learns and re-ranks based on your yes-no swipes.
Wow, constant feedback loop. And H&M we mentioned for the occasion filtering.
Right, that's a clear example of the intent-based approach being implemented by a major retailer. Shows these different strategies are all out there.
Definitely different paths to personalization. And speaking of tech advancements, there was even a patent mentioned for accessibility.
Yes, that was quite interesting. U.S. patent 11430043B2. It's focused specifically on helping visually impaired users, including those with color blindness.
How does it help?
It uses machine learning to help them evaluate clothes, plan outfits, get feedback, using digital versions of garments and expert recommendations tailored to visual impairments, helping choose compatible items, basically.
That's a fantastic use of the technology, making fashion more accessible.
Absolutely. And beyond that patent, other key advancements are happening too.
Like,
Well, those super detailed taxonomies we talked about, also integrating more context like weather or season into recommendations. Systems are getting better at evaluating things like color harmony or pattern clashing using vision. And some are looking at social network integration for peer feedback.
it seems like they're trying to capture more and more real-world factors.
Definitely. Making the recommendations smarter and more relevant to your actual life and environment.
So bringing this all together, we've gone from simple filters to these incredibly sophisticated AI systems that act almost like personal stylists.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey, and the core challenge remains balancing that powerful technology with a genuine understanding of individual taste, context, and, the art of fashion itself.
Absolutely. It makes you think differently about those suggestions popping up when you shop online, doesn't it? Maybe you, our listeners, will notice them a bit more now.
Could be. And if you found this deep dive useful, maybe share it with friends who are into fashion or tech.
Yes, please do. And make sure you subscribe to the fashion algorithm for more chats like this. Before we go, another quick thanks to our sponsor, Cloutfit.ai.
Right, the shoppable influencer content platform.
That's the one, making it easy to connect influencer style to your inventory and drive sales. Check them out at cloutfit.ai, CLOUTFIT.ai.
Worth a look for brands and retailers.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's all for this deep dive on the fashion algorithm. Thanks for tuning in.